For anybody new to this channel, my name is Renzo Montiuti, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another home tour here in Ocala, Florida. Now, we're in a community that you've probably never seen online or by any other YouTuber. This is called Copperleaf by Highland Homes. Now, the builder Highland Homes, they don't have too many communities or homes in the Ocala area. They had one in the east side of Ocala, and then they have this one. But the reason why we're here is, one, I recently sold one of these homes to a client, and it was absolutely beautiful, great location, and you get a lot of home for your money, and good quality finishes as well. So that's why we're here today. So the property we're gonna tour behind me is called the Willow II. This is a home that's 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2,536 square feet of under air living space. And as you can see behind me, it comes with a 3-car garage. It's gonna have 0.2 acres of land and a very, very low HOA. So what's great is we're so close to Highway 200, but you also have a community where they give you a bigger lot size where, you know, not only just this lot, but they have some lots that are 1/3 of an acre. They even had a couple that are closer to 1/2 an acre. So those are things you can expect in this community. So it just depends on the lot you want. But I just wanted to show you this home. Also, you have options to buy a quick move-in, or you can build one from scratch and design it in your way. So today's a great video. Now, let me give you a perspective on where we are. Man, it's bright out today. Now, in terms of where we are, we're only 3 minutes away from Highway 200. Right next to Sprouts, right next to Wawa, right next to Lowe's, right next to Chipotle. You're next to everything in this community, so super easy access to the main commercial row. The hospitals, Market Street at Heathbrook, Paddock Mall, it's all about 10 to 15 minutes away from here, so super close by. Downtown Ocala is 20 minutes away. The World Equestrian Center is only 25 minutes away, so you really have a lot of great things going on in this area. Now, on a grander scale, an hour and a half from Orlando, where I was born and raised, an hour and a half from Tampa, and then we're about 4.5 hours from Miami, Florida. También quiero dejar saber a toda mi familia latinos, yo soy venezolano. Yo también hablo español, y también yo puedo hablar italiano. So for anybody who doesn't speak Spanish, I practically said I speak Spanish. So now, at the end of the video, I want to give you guys just the straightforward numbers. This video, I want it to be just very direct. I want you guys to understand exactly what this house has to offer, and also what are the numbers. And I'll tell you, it's a great thing right now. They're already offering special interest rates, all the closing costs. So it's something to be excited about. If you like the house, the finances make sense. And I'll give you the price at the end of the video. And then I'll give you a little lighthearted message from my heart, just speaking my mind. No script, just purely from the heart. So I love you guys. Let's get started. Now, here, this is a private road in this community. Big driveway leading up to your 3-car garage. So you have that family, friends over for Christmas, for Thanksgiving. That is, you know, everybody can fit. 0.2 acres of land. As you can see here in the front of the home, this is Bahia grass. You're gonna have a concrete block and stucco home. So meaning this is up to 150 mile/hour wind resistant. This is on public water and public sewer. 30-year architectural shingle roof. And this is the first thing that sets this model apart, is the entryway. The tall entryway, it gives it that grandiose feel walking into the home, coming through your double doors. Come on. Okay, now, always nice having double doors. As you walk in, it's big. This feels big. You have your living room, dining, nook, and then you kind of have this flat. This is definitely gonna be the formal dining space right over here. You got your light above, good place to put a chandelier, window facing the west side of the home. Here at the front of the home as well, you're gonna have, you know, kind of one more private room. This is a huge room as well. It feels like it's 13, 14 feet long, 11 to 12 feet wide, and then, or vice versa. But window facing the north side of the home, a lot of natural light in here, and then you have your closet space. But ladies and gentlemen, this is why people love the Willow II, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you have so much space here, and I'll tell you, like, look, first and foremost, let's take a look at this island, this kitchen that we have here. Big, massive island. You have your double sink, dishwasher down below. You have your espresso cabinets, stovetop, microwave, fridge. Really, it's very spacious in here. A lot of lights, a lot of opportunities to put some of those pendant lights as well, and keeping the built-in LED lights. And then over here, you have a breakfast nook area, and then we have our living room, and perfect place to set up your TV, couches, everything. And also, we're gonna have tall ceilings in here. I believe we have 9'4" ceilings in here. And then you have an extra space right over here that could be another breakfast nook or bar area. So the opportunities are endless in this space. It's massive. I had a past client that purchased this home and they're just so happy because there is so much space in here and the finishes are really good quality. Below my feet, you can also see that we have LVP. But for now, my friends, let's actually step into the master bedroom. This is always the good room to start with. Now, nice thing is that you have tray ceilings up above, massive space. Oh my goodness, this is like a Tempur-Pedic. Very comfortable. And ultimately transition from LVP into the cozy carpet. We stand through, we go into the primary bathroom. You have your double sink. You're gonna have 4 mica countertops, the espresso cabinets. You have a nice tub with a skylight above, and then your glass enclosed shower. And then follow me this way, and we have our closet. Pretty good space. Kind of have this corner for him, the rest of this for her, and a lot of lighting. You know, it's something they definitely have so many LED lights up above, and you know, some builders just put 1 or 2 and you know, here and there, but that's one thing I noticed in this property already. Now, we're gonna go across the pond, across the house. We're gonna step into, we're gonna step into one of the bedrooms that has its own private bathroom. Now, so this is gonna be perfect for the in-law, for the family member, for someone who needs a little bit more space and privacy. Maybe this is an at-home office or meditation room, and then this is your bathroom that comes with the pocket door. So let me just show you. Oh, hello. All right, this is your sink, your walk-in shower, your toilet, and then the espresso. Now, you do have a medicine cabinet as well, which is always nice. And so we've seen already 3 rooms in this home. We have 2 more and then a bathroom. So let's kind of go through the kitchen. And now we're here kind of at the northeast corner, right off of the kitchen. This is where our washer and dryer go. And then this is where we're gonna have our 3-car garage. So much space. Workshop, even if you don't need the 3-car, workshop, whatever you need. You're also gonna have an irrigation system, water heaters right over here, and electrical panels over there. All in all, pretty smooth. Now, we go into the 4th bedroom of the home. This one, nice and tidy. Window facing the east side of the house. This is your closet space. Voila, nice and tidy. So we'll keep it going. This next bedroom, slightly different shape. That one kind of had like a, I don't know, I'm not good with shapes, but this one's a little more square. Also comes with blinds, literally saves you thousands of dollars before you move in. And then the bathroom, 1 sink, toilet, tub, backsplash. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you know, pretty much everything you need here. Now, another great thing, like I mentioned to you earlier, this house has a good sized lot. It's super big, right? But you still have a good amount of land, plenty of space for a pool. And you already know, what are we gonna do back here? This is for the big green egg. This is for the smoker, for anybody who enjoys smoking meat and whatever. I did a full chicken the other day. Like I just did a full, like I bought a whole chicken and smoked it for like 7 hours. And I never thought chicken could be so good. Like literally, like if you smoke a chicken for 6 hours, it's incredible. But anyways, here's a clip of me doing some short rib and some tri-tip. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is a great space to have those outdoor experiences. You know, you already have some of this cleared off, but your property line is gonna go up to here. Plenty of space for a pool, but you also have a very wide lot as well. So all of this is yours. You see this stick? Whenever you go to a property, they do a survey to see where your property line goes to. So all of this, plenty of space in between your neighbors, and ultimately, very good space outside. So, all right guys, let's get inside. I'll give you some numbers and let's get it. All right, folks, here we are at the end of the video. I have my computer in front of me and we're gonna take a deep dive into a few things about this property, this area, just pretty much everything we covered, and also getting into some more details. So, you know, take a look at the screen, but also I want you to listen to what I'm saying is I'll give you deeper insights into the things that you are looking at here. Okay, so first and foremost, let's go ahead and recap this property that we're looking at here today. It's the Willow II model, 5-bed, 3-bath, 2005 2,536 square feet with a 3-car garage. Now, like I said, you can get this on a 1/4 acre, you could get this on a 1/3 of an acre. This one specifically is on 0.2 acres of land. There are a lot of different lots, sizes in this community, and they still have some that are to be built, but also a good amount of quick move-ins, which, you know, I'll talk about in a second, where those are the best places to get a good deal. We're in Ocala, Florida, very close to Highway 200. So this is one of the better located communities. It's very close to 200, also not too far from 75. So these are things that, you know, you can take into consideration. This is a brand new house. No one's lived here. All this furniture is, they're in the process of getting this home staged. And this is a concrete block and stucco home, 30-year architectural shingle roof, public water, public sewer. That's what you can expect in this community. So building a pool out back is no problem. You don't have a septic tank back there. So that is fantastic. Now, I just want to go over the community and the amenities real quick before we hop into the numbers. $750 a year, that's about $63 a month. Really not many amenities coming with it. It's just a landscape, trail maintenance, common area, irrigation, and a private road. So you're not getting a playground or pool or anything. And I'm pretty upfront when I see things. It's, you know, it's really just to maintain the integrity of the community. I don't see any things here that should allow the HOA to go up, you know, at all, or, you know, over the next few years. I imagine this is a very stable HOA. It's a pretty community, but I think it's somewhat fair, just, you know, being in here and being in this tight-knit community where you have a lot of freedom, but also, you know, you have some sort of, you have to keep your house in some sort of good condition. Now, things to know when buying new construction like this. And I also want you to know, not every new construction home can be customized. A lot of them, like D.R. Horton, you're not gonna go in there and say, hey, I want this lot with these finishes and this floor plan. You're just picking and choosing. And those are places where you can get really good deals and it's a bit more affordable. Once you start going a bit more custom, that's where, you know, price ranges go up. The price per square foot is a little bit more. But a few things you wanna keep in mind. The base price of the home, this one could be like $330,000, $340,000. The lot premium could be around $5 to $25K. Depending on the lot. You want the biggest lot in the neighborhood, you'll probably have to pay a big premium. And then design studio, I'd recommend about 10 to 20% of the base price. So those are things to consider when you're coming into a community like this, or a community like Calessa Township in Ocala, and you want to design from scratch. Now, negotiations. When building from scratch, very limited to no negotiations, right? You still get the incentives they're offering, but you might not be able to get the extra $10,000, $15,000 off. I might not be able to get you extra design studio money. I might not be able to get you a lot discount or something like that. You're kind of at the mercy of what they're offering. So if we get to that position, I always try, but it's not always successful. And I'm always very upfront about that. Now, if we're looking at quick move-ins, that's the bread and butter. You know, that's where we want to come in a bit more aggressive. We're in a buyer's market. There's inventory. Some communities sell quicker than others, but you know, this is where we have an opportunity to get you an even better deal. And I truly, every dollar counts. When it comes to negotiations, that's what I really go by. Every dollar I can save you guys, I will. So first, let's talk about the final price. This house is finished, no extra costs. The price of this house is $380,000, ladies and gentlemen. So just under 380, and ultimately this is a great price for this type of house and this great of a location. So I also like looking at the price per square foot of things, right? So let's say this is at 380, you're at $149 a square foot. Wherever you're located, I want you to just calculate how much are you paying per square foot for your house. So how much per square foot is your house worth? So let's say, you know, you're living in New York and you have a 1,500 square foot home and it's worth $700,000. Right? Your house is $466 a square foot, right? Now, what drives the square footage up? Location, accessibility, quality of construction. But you're getting $150 a square foot for all of this. In my opinion, I think it's a phenomenal deal. And that's why we're here today, to show you these things. And it has really good finishes. If you're wanting to go with an FHA down payment, it's very doable on this home. And also the builder's offering special interest rates, which I'm gonna talk to you about in a second. But if you were looking to buy a home, a primary residence, the way you could do it with the least amount of money is, well, a VA loan. So if you're a veteran or active military, you can use a VA loan, 0% down. But also for any non-veterans or active military, you can use an FHA loan, which is 3.5% down. 3.5% is $13,290. Another way is with a conventional loan primary residence home with 5% down. Now that would be $18,986. And you probably are asking yourself, why would I go conventional when I could go FHA and save myself about a little over $5,500? And that's a great question if you just asked it. The truth is, when you hit 20% equity in your home, you can take out what is called private mortgage insurance. Now, what is private mortgage insurance? Essentially, it's exactly what it says, private mortgage insurance. It's something with an FHA loan, you have to pay it for the life of the loan. Ultimately, down the road, you can save a lot of money going conventional. Secondary home, let's say you wanted to buy this as like a vacation home, you want to come visit, you have some business at the equestrian center, you want to just come hang out in a quiet part of Florida. This is a great option, and you can do it with a secondary home loan, 10% down, $38,000. In terms of investment property, we have, you could go with this 20% down, and that would be around just under $76,000. Monthly payment on 5% down, we'll get to that in just a second. Property taxes are gonna be 1.2 to 1.4% of the purchase price. No CDD, and closing costs, they're covered by the builder. Now, here's a little payment breakdown I want you guys to look at very closely here. $379, $720, 5% down payment, 30-year loan, 5.5% interest rate. That's what they're offering right now with the special interest rate for a conventional loan. For FHA, I think they can get all the way down to 4.99, maybe even a 4.5. So, this is, I think we can get lower, but I wanted to be a bit more conservative here. This is also assuming you have over 740 credit score, $250 a month in taxes, $70 homeowners insurance per month. Insurance is very cheap in Ocala because we're very central and very safe from hurricanes. We're also 180 feet above sea level, which is important to know. HOA fees are $63 a month. That gives you a grand total of about $2,631 a month. Now I want you to think about how much you're paying in rent, how much a house costs in your area. Is that affordable for you, right? And that's only 5% down with a conservative interest rate. Those are things you want to consider. So I hope this gives you a good insight into what this looks like. Now, when it comes to working with lenders, to get these incentives, you need to work with the builder lender. And that's super important that they typically ask for in order to give you these type of incentives. Now, the current builder incentives, all closing costs are going to be covered, and also special interest rates with qualifying credit, which is typically a 740 or over. Now, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I'm at a 720, well, what it means is you might just have to pay a couple extra points, mortgage points, to get that rate. Meaning, it costs 1% of the purchase price of the home. So 1 point is essentially about $3,800. $3,800 will drop your interest rate about 1/4 to 1/3 of a percentage, right? That 1/4 of a third of a percentage could save you, $60 to $100 per month on your mortgage payment. It just really, a lot of factors vary into that. I'm just giving you rough numbers. Those are things to think about. You're saving a good amount of money using these points, but also rates are about to come down drastically. So maybe, hey, do we just go with maybe get extra closing costs or take it off the price or see how we can negotiate it and then refinance later down the road when we're at a 5% market rate. Those are things we want to talk about. But if they're already giving special interest rates and you have good credit, for sure we want to go all in with it. I did it on one of my townhomes back in 2021. My first ever property, I got a special interest rate and it was fantastic. Who am I? Who are we? Essentially, I'm the team leader of the Satori Group. We've been a real estate group here in Central Florida for this past 6 years, helping people sell, helping people buy, helping people move from all over the place. And we have a very strategic system that helps people get what they're looking for. We do a lot of market knowledge and research that essentially just makes it such a seamless process for you, and also a fun one. It shouldn't be stressful. You shouldn't be begging your realtor to communicate with you. This is something that we take very seriously. Also, our mission statement, we always want to show you the best opportunities based off your criteria. We're very real with you. We're like, hey, that's fantastic. We can definitely have a few options. Tell me a little bit more, of exactly what would make a house stand out. Once we have a realistic baseline of bed, bath, square footage, lot size, 1-story or 2-story, HOA or no HOA, and you had a realistic budget for it, okay, great. Now let's talk about more details. What do you really appreciate? Tall ceilings, what kind of finishes, what kind of this, what kind of that. We go deep into it. And then we also give you very clear and concise information based off, if you're going new construction, the builder, what we recommend. We've worked with this builder, this is what we can negotiate. And then there's also another side of it. If you're buying a resale home, we do research in how much equity the owners have. And when you're buying a house and you're working with the seller, you almost have a little bit more negotiation power because we're negotiating with equity rather than builders needing to meet their margins. So those are things that we take into consideration. We also negotiate the best deal, like I just talked about. And lastly, we want to keep your money safe. We want you to know that is one of our main focuses, so you guys can feel stress-free, you guys can feel clear-headed, and you know exactly how your money is going to be saved, not saved, but utilized, and also how it's protected. So that's a little bit about us. You know, who should contact us? I'd say if you're just curious and want to know how this process works, just reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you. There's no pressure. You're never going to feel pressure from us. Hey, go buy it. We need to buy a house. We need to do that. You're never going to feel that. We're just here to give you a service. That's all we have to offer. If you made the decision you want to buy and it's time to go, give us a call. We can have some more advanced conversations. And then if you're like, hey, I'm pre-approved, I want to buy a house, I'm ready to go, we can have an in-depth Zoom call with me personally, and we will talk through things and give you an amazing understanding of what it looks like to buy and sell real estate here in Central Florida. Now, I wanted to show you, this is our contact info. If you guys have any questions, want to reach out to us, whatever your preferred method of communication is, we're very open to it and respect it. But I also want to show you two things here. This is the market report. This is the Marion County market report right now. From August 2024 to August 2025, the average sale price went up 4.5%. What does that mean? The amount of volume that's being sold went up 10%. The amount of pending inventory went up 4.3%. But also, the amount of inventory went up 32%. There's demand, but there's also a lot of builders and supply coming in as well. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, is what you're seeing right now. This is a growing city economy. This is something that's really building up to something special. And I love the Ocala because it gives you the balance of countryness, quiet, relaxed, but also you have your commercial. You're not like completely isolated in Florida. This is a metropolitan city, but it's a small one and it's a tight-knit one. It's really rooted in an equestrian scene, in a nature scene, and more of a naturalistic vibe. So if that's something you appreciate, you know, it's worth calling us and we'll take you around and show you around. Also, here's the Orlando market report. From August 24 to August 25 in Orlando, prices went up 4.2%. So this is really what I wanted to show you guys. And we're gonna keep giving you market updates. Like, I'm not just making up these numbers, and we look at the report weekly, bi-weekly, the Monday reports, everything. We want to make sure we're up to date for you guys. So with that being said, heartfelt message. I'm gonna keep it really short. I'm gonna say trust your intuition. All of us have this voice inside of us that tells you yay or nay, that tells you yes or no, that tells you good and bad. You know, a lot of times when we're connected to our true wisdom and we truly know who we are, we're disciplined, we're happy, we're joyful, we're living by higher elevated emotions, our intuition gets louder and louder, and it's almost like God is speaking to you through a gut feeling, through maybe one of your first 3 energy centers. And you know, these are things that you probably feel it. And I know women feel it a lot. They have gut feelings. They're almost like, women are like psychics in a way. They just know what you're feeling. They know what you're thinking. And I'm like, how do you know? And they just know. They have this intuition to them. Everybody can tap more into their intuition, and it's a guiding light in life. It'll guide you in the right direction. And in my opinion, I believe it's God speaking through us and helping us make decisions. When you have a decision and you're about to do something you know you shouldn't do, you always have that voice saying, don't do it, man. Don't do it. And ladies and gentlemen, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, there's something within each and every one of us that has that gut feeling, that intuition that gives us that moral compass of if this is good for us or not. And I just encourage everybody to trust it, because that's our higher power speaking through us and within us. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you all. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to like and comment. If you want to know more about Ocala too, I have a video on Ocala talking about the city, the price per square foot. And anyways, that's it for today. Ciao, ciao.